Man, it's no secret that Hydra is one of the toughest game modes in Raid to get into. Way tougher than Chimera, by the way. And so in this video, we're going to be covering good old Michele's account, and actually another account after this one, a double account takeover session in this video. And we're going to be talking about how you can be prepared for Hydra in the best possible sense when you're getting started in Raid. Michele's account is 3 months old, and so first things first, it's very early to be even thinking about blasting Hydra on a 3-month-old account. Realistically, you've got 5 or 6 months, to worry about that. But that doesn't mean that you can't start to plan ahead a little bit with certain champions on your account and start to build out certain champions and prioritize them a little bit more than usual, taking them up to level 60 and what have you, to get ready to partake in Hydra. So we're going to be covering what kind of champions you need to build out into Hydra, as well as a couple of champs or a couple of champion teams across the 2 accounts we're going to be taking over in this video that I would recommend leveling up to blast Hydra when the time comes. And hey man, if you're looking to get involved in this account takeover series yourself, or just looking to create a new raid account, then the beginner promo link down below at the top of the video description box is the best one that exists right now. God damn it, you can take that to the bank. It had a little bit of a rocky launch a couple of days ago, but it's all fixed now. This promo link is up and running, and so the time is now. Goddammit, hit that link down below at the top of the description box. Just make sure that you're signed out of Plarium Player on PC before doing that. Sign up to Raid using that link, and as soon as you are done with the tutorial, Karato Fox Center will be waiting for you in your account inbox, followed by 3 further epic champions as you continue to level up your account. Okay man, so Hydra clan boss is like 6 bosses kind of wrapped up into one. That's why it's such a pain for new players to get involved in. You need a big variety of champions to tackle all of the mechanics it's going to be throwing at you, but we're just going to simplify it right here, man. What do you need to bring into Hydra? Plain and simple. You want a champion that brings an AoE block buffs debuff, an AoE decrease speed debuffer champion. You want an AoE increase speed buffer champion for your entire team, if you can. You want to bring a good, reliable provoker champion to control the head of decay, which is a big problem if you do not have that head provoked. And if you can, though, it's a little bit optional for when you're first getting started. It's good to have the next 3, and that is Veil or Perfect Veil buffers, HP burn champions, and Hex champions. If that seems like a lot to bring to the table in a single Hydra team, it's because it is. It's why Hydra is very notoriously difficult to get into for the first time. But what are some more budget options that you can look to and turn to help get you started in Hydra, man? Well, I think the most infamous Hydra god among the epic champions, Magic Affinity epic, is going to be Ugo. Ugo brings an AoE decreased defense and an AoE block buffs debuff on her A2 on a 310 cooldown, which is great. Okay, she's going to help out your Hydra damage by a lot. The block buffs debuff is huge because the Hydra heads are, well, the head of Mischief is trying to steal your buffs and then spread those buffs all the time. Okay, so having up this block buffs debuff is crucially vital. And Ugo also brings a little bit of debuff cleanse as well as a whole bunch of healing on her A3. And so yeah, the Ugo really brings a lot to the table. Good healers and cleansers are also going to be quite important to your team, even though that's a role that I didn't quite cover in the essential roles breakdown at the start of this. Another great champion that, I don't know, maybe a few of you might have on your accounts is going to be Sun Wukong, and Sun Wukong is more of like a one-dimensional damage dealer in the case of Hydra, but does at least bring a 310 cooldown AoE block buffs debuff on his big A3 smack. And so Sun Wukong, nearly called it Ugo, Sun Wukong is another great champion to bring into Hydra if you got him. Oh, and the reason I'm saying Sun Wukong is a budget option is because you can use the beginner promo code Monkey King when you first create your new account to get a free copy of Sun Wukong when you first start playing Raid. And so yeah, Sun Wukong I'd consider to be a somewhat accessible champ that maybe a few people have. Next up, AoE decrease speed champions. And I swear we'll get to rebuilding some champs and building some teams and stuff on this account in just a second, but I want to give this as more of a general breakdown to help people out to get ready for Hydra. Royal Guard is a great AoE decrease speed style champ. He's not super reliable at the roll. It comes down to his A3. He attacks in 4 times at random, with each hit having a chance of placing decreased speed debuff. The main reason you're bringing your Royal Guard is, I mean, the decreased speed is great, but he also brings a huge enemy max HP hitter, attack all enemies hit on his A2, and so he's a great damage dealer as well. But he can be brought in for the AoE decreased speed debuff, or like pseudo AoE decreased speed debuff on his A3 as well. He can do some work with that. And another accessible-ish option, this is a tough debuff to come by the way. AoE decreased speed is not easy to come by, but White Dryad Nia, she has an incredible supporting kit for Hydra, And on her A1, she has an attack all enemies with a 50% chance bucked of placing decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. So she's just a great support style champ overall as well, and definitely one to look out for if you are building in towards Hydra. As for an AoE increase speed champion, ideally you're going to find a champ like Estra Dreamsong, or I think Elva, or like Nekmothar, those kind of legendary champs that bring a big powerful increased speed buff, as well as a bunch of other things in their kit. But honestly, dude, I've used Hydra in some of my Hydra teams for the longest time now, and she does just fine, and it just proves how important this buff is, because the rest of her kit, little bit useless into Hydra. Her A1's okay, brings decreased speed, but it's a low land rate and it's only single target. I'm really just putting her in the team on my account, on my main account by the way, for the increased speed buff. And yeah, she can hold her own as high up as like Brutal Hydra. It's just how important this buff is. So if you've got no other option for an increased speed buffer, Hydra is a fine champion to put into your team until you find better options for increased speed. As for good, reliable provoker champions, I'm not sure any better bang for your buck as compared to Drexthar Bloodtwin, which is a champ that you can get completely for free just by farming his fragments, by farming Tag Arena and buying one of his fragments every day in the Bazaar shop for Tag Arena, right? He brings a chance to place HP burn debuff as well on his passive skill every time he's attacked, and the Hydra heads are practically always throwing in AoE attacks, and so he gets a lot of damage up and running with the HP burn, which is great. And on his A2, he's got attack all enemies, chance to place provoke, and the chance to place provoke is increased to a 100% land rate if the target is under HP burn as well. And so he can be a pretty reliable provoker. It's only a 1-turn duration provoke, and it is on a 3-turn cooldown. So he's going to have to be quite fast. He's going to need an increased speed champion on the team to make him quite fast. At any rate, he's going to be getting in, ideally, a few attacks for every 1 attack that the Head of Decay gets in to maintain that provoke debuff against the Head of Decay as much as possible. He can do a great job on your beginner Hydra team. The next role that we touched on was the Veil or Perfect Veil buffer champ, and honestly, when it comes to budget options, it's tough to hold a candle to Rector Drath, right, in terms of, again, sort of bang for your buck. She brings a AoE heal on her A2, buckable down to a 2-turn cooldown, which is great, and after healing places a Perfect Veil buff for 2 turns on all allies with full HP, which hopefully is, more than a few of them, and places a continuous heal buff instead on allies with less than 100% HP. The reason the Veil buff is so important to maintain on your team, you can get by without it, but the Head of Torment is going to screw with you real bad and really slow your team down if you're attacking the Head of Torment without a Perfect Veil buff or a Veil buff. And the reason for that is every time you hit the Head of Torment without a Veil buff, it's going to place a unresistible True Fear debuff on whoever attacks it, right? And it's just going to slow your team down a lot. It's definitely a huge pain, but yeah, getting that Perfect Veil buff up makes it so that the Head of Torment is kind of doing nothing. Rector Drath is a fantastic option. If you happen to pull an Inquisitor Shamail, Epic Void champion for the Sacred Order, his passive actually just completely deletes the Head of Torment's mechanics from the game, as long as your Shamail's alive. So every crit fills this champion's turn meter by 7.5%. Whenever an ally receives a Fear or a True Fear debuff from an enemy, this skill will instantly remove the debuff and fill the team leader's turn meter by 15%. Unbelievable. There's no cooldown on this passive. Yeah, Inquisitor Shamail basically completely negates the Head of Torment. If you got him as an epic option to bring into Hydra, he is absolutely S+ tier. And finally, that brings us to Hex champions. And frankly, I kind of feel like I'm much better off just taking a support style champ. I don't know, maybe something like a Loki the Deceiver who has an attack all enemies on their A1. So support style champ that you're not too bothered about them doing crazy damage, but they've got an attack all enemies on 1 or more of their skills. Just put them in a cursed artifact set. Have them nice and fast, right? Make it so that they don't die, right? Decent defensive stats. And every time they attack in, they're going to have that 50% chance of placing the Hex debuff along all of the Hydra heads. Is well worth doing if you can find a good support champ to sort of fill the role. Honestly, Loki isn't too bad at the role in a cursed set, but for me, even better if you can get the cursed set on like a healer or revive style champion that's got an attack all enemies A1 or A2 or whatever, If you can get it on like a support style champion that's bringing more to the table in Hydra than Loki, then I'd say that would be slightly more optimal. And so you can see right away already, man, getting back to Michele's account after just giving that quick Hydra breakdown, we've got a few champions that can actually work out for us here, man. We've got the Loki, we've got the Rector Drath, we've got the Sun Wukong for the block buffs debuff, and we've also got Prince Kaimar sitting here as well, leveled up to 50 but not geared out at all just yet. This is just a solid champion overall. to bring to the fight. He brings a reset the cooldowns of all ally skills ability on his A3, just drastically improving the efficiency of your team. I do have to check up, how close are we to Drexthar, man? Where is he, dude? Oh, no, God, okay, we have one fragment. Okay, man. Michele, God damn it. You can't be neglecting your tag arena, man. It's very, very important indeed. Yeah, I'm assuming that we don't. Oh, we actually have like a reasonable amount of gold bars sitting around, so we could start buying these every day. I highly, highly recommend that we do that and just start buying. In fact, you know what? Ugh, I'm just going to buy one right now. It's going to take a few months to get the Drexthar. It is. But you know what, man? Few months from now might be about the time where you're really thinking about starting to push into Hydra and stuff. So maybe that's okay. We're a little bit behind here, let's be real. But yeah, the Drexthar is a great, great legendary champ for progression. I'd highly, highly recommend that you're buying up those fragments and building out the Drexthar, man. So what I'm going to do is head on into Hydra itself. We've only got 16 hours left to even hit into this. I don't think we're going to do any damage here. Ooh, this is the current team that we're running. Okay, interesting. The Magna, ooh. You know, big AoE damage dealer, not that effective into Hydra because it's all he brings to the table. You know, you want to be checking as many of those buff and debuff boxes as you can that we mentioned a bit earlier in the video. And that's with your damage dealers included. You know, you want to check as many of those boxes as you can. So let's go ahead and just pen in a Hydra. Oh, I already did it. I already did it when taking some notes over the account last night. Okay. Lovely, lovely. Yeah, so straight up, this is the team that I would go ahead and bring on into Hydra. I'd run Hydra as the speed aura lead, and she's also bringing increased speed to the table as well. She can do a fine, fine job at that. The Wretched Wrath is going to be bringing the Veil and Perfect Veil, a revive, some healing. Good stuff. The Kaima is just going to come in and increase the efficiency of the team drastically by just getting off his A3 every now and again. I just need to build the guy as fast as humanly possible, to be honest. Then I would have Loki in a cursed set and kind of have him prioritizing his A1. Again, you can sort of get by on Hydra without having the Hex debuff up, but it is very, very high value indeed. It's going to, you know, increase the damage output of your team by a lot. And also the Head of Mischief in Hydra can't actually be reliably targeted by single target skills unless it has a Hex debuff on it. That's like a small caveat. Again, you can get by without it, but you're going to be in a lot of trouble if the Head of Mischief then swallows or like devours. What's it called again, man? Whatever, man. If it's the Head of Mischief trying to like digest one of your champions, you might have some trouble breaking that champion out. We'll just put it at that, you know, if you don't have a Hex debuff. So for the final spot, this is exactly where our Drexthar Blood Twin would go to sort of fill the team out and round the team out. And then from there, I think that the next two changes I make to the team would be replacing the Loki with maybe a better cursed set champion. Something like a Royal Guard would fit into the spot just well, and we could do without the Hex debuff, maybe, or maybe even put the Kaima in a cursed set. Who knows, you know, he does have attack all enemies on his A1, so I guess we could switch him over to that role. It might be at the cost of some speed, which isn't ideal for the guy, but we could switch out the Loki for a Royal Guard, and then we have more damage from the Royal Guard, and the Royal Guard would also be bringing the decreased speed, and of course, any time that we can switch out the Hydra for just a better increased speed champion, a Nekmothar, an Estrid, something like that, a champ that's bringing increased speed buff, but also a bunch of healing or a bunch of useful debuffs against the Hydras, anything like that really. But this would be like the core sort of baseline team that I'd be looking to build out to level 60 on this account anytime that I can. Do we just have like a lot of level 50s on this account, by the way? Like all of those champs are level 50. Let me just take a look over here. That was actually something that I maybe overlooked a little bit. Okay, so we've got the Kale and the He-Man at 60. And then just quite a lot of 5 stars, really. Yeah, we should really, really try and just focus on getting champions maxed up to 60 as quick as possible. It's still very, very early days on this account, of course. The issue hasn't spiraled out of control just yet, but I definitely take up the Sun Wukong to 60, no doubt about it. I'd probably take up the Dracomorph before the Sun Wukong, to be honest. I feel like Dracomorph is amazing for farming Dragon. He's amazing at a Demon Lord Clan boss. I've got him on my own free-to-play account, and honestly, he's great. He does like so much work for me. So yeah, I take up the Dracomorph, then I take up the Sun Wukong, then I'd level 60 the Rector Drath, and then maybe I'd go back for the Kaima at that point, I think, and then eventually get to the Haikatun if we've still not found a better sort of increased speed champion. The Frozen Banshee here has got like a bunch of gear committed to her. Her speed's a little bit low. I'll get to champion rebuilds just now, but the Frozen Banshee could do with being abandoned on this account. I feel like there's no need to build out the Frozen Banshee anymore. We don't have to worry about her. We can use her in faction wars and stuff, while she still finds some use there. She's not a very good Faction Wars champion, to be honest, but there you go. Just because we have the Dracomorph and the Kale, it's like two greatly superior poisoners here to use into Demon Lord Clan Boss and into Dragon, which is the only thing you'd actually level Frozen Banshee for. So she's already been replaced on this account. Now, I've gone ahead a little bit, actually just in the minutes before I started recording this, and planned out some fresh builds to toss onto the Kale and the Dracomorph, because these are going to be two key champions for us to progress on this account. I will say that I can't rebuild that many champs in this account. We just don't have that many 5-star or even 4-star speed boots. In fact, we've got like 4 or 5 across the entire account. Our speed boot situation is in dire straits on this account, and so yeah, I really can only rebuild so many champions. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and rework the Kale's gear so it looks a little bit more something like this. Okay, now there is an artifact enhancement event active. We have 5.5 million gold. I'm comfortable to go ahead and take these basically up to 12. The rolls here can go anywhere and they're good, which is lovely. The crit rate gauntlets can also go up to 12 as well. Yeah, we're lacking crit rate gauntlets on this account as well, by the way, in case that's not obvious. We're using some 4-star green here. We just don't have many to go around on the account. And hopefully, what's our crit rate going to end up as? Okay, like 1 crit roll here would be fine, to be fair. Let's take these up to 8 anyway, because, I mean, they're probably going to go up. We actually get double crit rate roll. Yeah, we're going to take these all the way up to 12 then in that case. And lovely. That's almost bang on 100% crit rate, and so we don't have to put any more levels into these gauntlets now, which is lovely. And so once all is said and done, we're going to gain like 500 attack on this kill. We're going to go ahead and replace his HP percentage chestplate with an attack percentage chestplate. His accuracy is going to look a little bit better, but what we're really lacking on this kill now is an accuracy banner, which is something that we just don't have right now. I think he's in like an HB banner or something or other, you know. Maybe it's a resistance banner even. I don't know, man. Look at that resistance, dude. Yeah, we need to find this kill an accuracy banner from Spider as quick as possible. Even a 4-star accuracy banner would do a lot of work on this kill to bump up his accuracy stats. But overall, his damage is going to be drastically improved now that he's sitting at 100% crit. His speed is going to be a hell of a lot better as well, because his speed was in really quite a lot of trouble. I'm going to go ahead and equip this kill up just now, switch that gear around. And then on the Dracomorph, man, on the rebuild we've got planned out for him, I actually had a couple of builds that I was kind of toying with here. I think I'm going to settle on Dracomorph new build number 2, which is this build right here. And we're just looking to sort of maintain his accuracy, boost up his crit rate a lot. I think we should go ahead and take these crit rate gauntlets up to rank 16, to be honest. Again, we're kind of heading for options. Yeah, I am going to do it. I'm going to do it, man. I'm just going to go ahead and get it done, man, because honestly, it's like we only have 4-star crit rate gauntlets on this account, by the way. So, yeah, we're going to boost up his crit rate by quite a bit. It's not quite 100% yet, but it gives us something to work with at least. These boots can also be rolled up to, like, 12 just automatically. We don't even have to worry about it. Thankfully, we go into a little bit of accuracy here to kind of save the stat rolls, because double flat HP is not good. Percentage stats always being better than flat, of course. But yeah, the goal with this rebuild on the Dracomorph is frankly just to boost up his speed a bit, boost up his crit rate a bit, and I think that we've achieved both of those things pretty aptly. Oh, he's also gained like nearly 600 attack as well. Okay, yeah, lovely. That will do. We maintain the accuracy, we lose a little bit of crit damage, but the crit rate before was only 26%, now it's 82%. Again, would that we had some 5-star crit rate gauntlets, but we just don't. You know, we're working with some limited resources here, man. So I'm going to go ahead and switch these over on the Dracomorph. And seeing as though we just stole the chest piece off of Denid, let's go ahead and see if we can't replace that with just a better chest piece. Oh god, double resistance? Okay, we'll give it up to a 12. I was really hoping for just 1 speed roll. HP percentage roll is fine. The double resistance really sucks. But again, we just don't have a lot to work with on this account just now, man. So yeah, I think it's fine. We'll go ahead and slam him in this gear, even though those rolls went a little bit crappy. Yeah, so Denid the Tusk Knight can still be used. Honestly, a pretty good rare champion to have taken up to level 50. No complaints about this guy. He's got a great strong base and strengthen buffer on his A2, which is lovely. I see that it's halfway booked up as well. I will also mention as well that I'm going to recommend to Michele that he spends all of his epic skill tomes. He has 9 in the stockpile. that he spends all of his epic skill tomes on the Rector Drath and getting her booked up as much as possible. The extra debuff chance for decreased attack on her AO1 is great into Demon Lord Clan Boss. We should be exploiting that. And honestly, she's a worthwhile investment anyway, because we've already established she's going to be a key champion to use in Hydra later on down the line as well. And so it's very, very safe to go ahead and book up the Rector Drath and use her as like the main support champion on this account in terms of just outright healing. Oh god, I just realized the Rector Drath's gear, man. What is the his good old 1-star gear pieces on the Rector Drath, man. Oh yo. Okay, but yeah, just to like really drive home the point, if I just go to like boots, speed, main stat, these are our main stat speed boots. I mean, some 3-star curing, like the immortal boots, I mean, okay, they're like reasonable, bit of accuracy substat at least, relentless, or like 4-star boots, you know, there's just not a lot for me to work with here in terms of rebuilding champions, you know? Okay, I couldn't help myself, man, I had to rebuild the Rector, okay, we're gonna steal another piece of gear off the Denard, man, but that's fine, we're gonna get the Rector's accuracy up just a little bit more, still a little bit low, of course, for reliably landing debuffs against Demon Lord Clan Boss, really looking for like 150 into hard mode, Demon Lord, but there you go. The speed is going to be a bit improved. Health, defense, all just a bit improved. Lovely stuff. Also managed to get it in a relentless set as well, just using some of the 4-star speed boots. So yeah, that's going to be greatly beneficial and actually get the Rector Drath up and running and doing a lot more for us in Demon Lord. So I think that will do, man. I think that'll do. And just to rebuild the Denard just a little bit, we'll go ahead and throw this random lifesteal headpiece on him, man. Double percentage roll, bit of speed. Yeah, I mean, he still desperately needs speed boots as well. Who am I fooling, right? This Denard still needs patching up quite a bit. Oh god, let me fix those as well, I can't help it. Okay, and for real this time, let's just go ahead and equip these new boots up. He's still a little bit on the slow side, of course, but yeah, we're only working with so many boots here, man. We really need to just farm any rarity, really, of just some 5-star primary stat speed boots on this account, and we might just be off to the races. What are the stats on this mythical? Okay, crit, accuracy, speed, it's actually not a bad 5-star mythical weapon, to be honest. Pretty good for an early game account like this. Okay, I think that we're pretty much good on this account, man. Those are the champs that I would build out next to get ready for Hydra. And let's hop on over to the next account. Alright, man, I did go ahead and just mess around a little bit with the Clan Boss team setup as well, just to see how this team does. Now that the Rector Drath is moving faster, including Rector Drath in the team is also going to be key for the decreased attack debuff she's bringing on the A1. The strengthen buff on the Denard might just give us a little bit of extra survivability with this team. And I went ahead and I disabled the Loki from using his A2 into Demon Lord as well, because frankly, it doesn't do anything. So I just wonder, man, what kind of damage numbers could we pull off into hard mode Demon Lord on this account now? Okay. And before the team is about to die absolutely horribly, because honestly, most of them are level 50 and they're just kind of, a lot of them have been dead for a few rounds now and it's been Loki against the world. 5 and a bit million damage. I don't know if that's an improvement on what we usually do, but yeah, this is the team I'd probably be looking to build out anyway. For using Demon Lord Clan Boss. The Denard is of course a little bit questionable, you know, a good increased defense champion, something like that might also be fine here, or even a decreased defense champion maybe, even against the Clan Boss as well, maybe the Hiker Toon just for the increased speed. Those could all be fine options as well in the short term. And alright, that is going to be all for good old Michele's account takeover, focusing on building out these Hydra teams. Once again, if you're looking to get involved in this series and kickstart your new raid account with just an incredible selection of free champions, including Corrado Folksunder as your starting legendary, then make sure to sign up using my beginner promo link down below, man, at the top of the description box. Incredible way to kickstart your new raid account. And you know what, while you're down there, make sure to join the Discord server as well. And yeah, make a post in the account Takeover Submissions channel if you want a chance at appearing in this series. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy this one, and I'm gonna catch all of you guys just a tad bit later, man.